Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about something I actually wanted to say yesterday, but work, sleep, these things just got too busy for me. And I'm sure you've heard this many times from many people, especially on Valentine's Day, is that whether you're with someone or you're not with someone, remember one thing more important than anything. You see, the best love you will ever find is love for yourself. Now, depending on where you're at in your life, you may think that's a pile of crap, and it probably feels like that too. And that's okay. That's just telling you how you feel about yourself, but it doesn't have to be that way. You see, when you actually love yourself, think about how when you love another person, don't you want to do things for that person? Don't you want to show them how much you care about them? You want to make things special for them. You want to give them the best there is. That's with a partner. Now, what would it be like if you were that partner? Let's just imagine it for a minute. If you actually had a twin of yourself in front of you and you loved this person, how would you treat them? How would you feel if they treated themselves the way you're currently treating yourself? Wouldn't break your heart? You feel bad. You're like, don't treat yourself that way. You're so amazing. You're so special. Can't you see what I see? And it hurts when they can't, because a lot of times other people see in us what we refuse to see in ourselves. You see, every single person is unique and amazing in their own way. And that's not saying giving gold stars out to everyone so everyone feels included. It's just the truth. Now, when you care about another person and you see that they're hurting themselves, torturing themselves over regrets, failures, and even when they succeed, they don't want to admit that they did something good, even though you want to praise them for it. Think about that. Wouldn't you want to give that person all the praise and love and affection and presence, and just remind them that, because they are so important to you, so special to you? But that person is you. Why don't you treat yourself that way? What is holding you back from treating yourself in a manner that would reflect that kind of love for yourself? Do you believe you're not worth it? Because someone somewhere told you that you aren't worth a damn. Maybe some breakup happened and you gave it a meaning that said, I cannot be loved. I'm not special. I'm not worth it. I'm worthless. These are very dangerous words, especially when you believe them. But you are worth it. You see, no matter how far you've fallen, it's never the end. If you're still alive, it's not the end. No matter where you are, you can always rise again. And you start at the very foundation of it all. If your house is fallen apart, you don't start repairing the roof before you scoop away the crap and start the foundation over with. I mean, anyone would tell you that's you don't build the roof when you got a broken foundation. Anyone would tell you that. But that's what we do so oftentimes. Our life falls apart and we think about getting with that next person because they're going to validate me. They're going to love me and they're going to fulfill me. They're going to fill that hole inside my heart. And you know what happens? Maybe you do get with that person. And for a while, you feel great. It's wonderful. And then somewhere along the line, not long really, you realize that you're not as happy as you thought you'd be. And before you realize it, you're really not happy at all. Because another person cannot give you what you will not give yourself. See, when you give yourself something, nobody can take it from you. Not unless you give it to them. You see, if I go into to everyone, and down the street, and it'll sound ridiculous, but if I stop people on the street and ask them, would you validate me? What do you think the reaction is going to be? Disgust. They're like, what? They'll either be disgusted or be completely confused. But that's basically what most of us do. We ask other people, please validate me. Please approve of me. But what happens when you go down the street And you are a self-validating machine. Now, if someone comes up and be like approves of you, you're like, of course you do. That's just the way I am. If someone comes up and says they don't like you, okay, that's nice. Because you don't care. You've already achieved the validation and approval from yourself. You're an engine of it. And no one can take away from you what you will not let them have. You think that someone could just take something from you, can take your confidence from you, can take your self-worth from you, unless you let them? No, it doesn't work that way. And that's why loving yourself, building yourself, is more important than anything else you're going to do in this life. Is more important. Because if you cannot do that, you will forever be roaming through life looking for others to do it for you. And you will be disappointed again and again and again and again. No matter what. Someone is always going to let you down, even for a moment. Maybe they weren't paying attention. Maybe they're busy with something. They slipped up. And you expected some kind of approval and validation at whatever time, and they didn't give it to you. They weren't even paying attention. Maybe they were disgusted with the whole damn thing. But you are like craving it. So you miss a feeding, and you start spinning into chaos, and the whole thing just unravels. And anyone who's been through a few relationships probably knows this one already. This is how it usually goes. Something happens along the line, the neediness starts getting out of control, and before you know it, there's this tailspin into basically it's gonna be torn apart, and then you pick yourself up and you start looking for the next one, and over and over again this happens until and you never find what you're really looking for, because you never look where it really is at yourself. If you don't give yourself something, how can you expect someone else to? If you need something from somebody and they don't give it to you, you're going to feel rejected. You're going to feel, depressed. You're going to feel worthless. But if you want something, if you need something, and you give it to yourself, you know what you're going to feel? You're going to feel proud because you did it for you. You're going to feel accepted because you did it for you. And you know what? If you, at any point, think you need something, guess what? That's instantly communicated to the person who's going to get it for you. You. Because you're in constant communication with yourself constantly. You're never going to not know what you're thinking. You're never going to be abandoned by you. It's not going to happen. It can't happen. And there are many, many people out there who want to run from themselves. How does that work out? You tell me. Has anyone you've ever known who runs from themselves, and I bet you know at least one, we all do, who's running from themselves, don't want to face themselves. Can any of those people ever actually escape themselves? They resort to drugs. They resort to alcohol. But even so, they cannot escape from themselves. They cannot be left by themselves. They can't be abandoned. So why not turn an enemy into your best friend? In doing so, you become whole. You become complete. Because if you're at war with yourself, if you're rejecting yourself, you're not complete. You're not whole. You're split. You're divided. So make peace with yourself. Accept yourself. Put that peace treaty down. Bring the two halves together. Bring them together in love. And see how your life can completely transform. And how do you do that? You start with the foundation. You start by telling yourself that you love yourself. Hell, there's even a book called How to Love Yourself Like Your Life Depends on It, I think is the title. And it talks exactly about what I'm talking about now. About how someone literally transformed their entire life by telling themselves that they said, I love you, I love you, I love you, over and over again to themselves for months. And it literally transformed their entire life. A single word can transform your entire life if you are committed to it. Are you worthless or are you worthy? One word can radically change everything if you implant it in the subconscious mind. And how do you do that? Repetition, emotion. Channel your emotions into saying the word. Say it with conviction. Say it repeatedly, over and over and over again. You know, many, many times a day. Say it and feel it. And in a month's time, you'll believe it. And it will affect everything, everything. And you will believe you think it was magic, but it's actually just neuroscience. A single word can transform your life, for good or for bad. It's completely up to you how you want to live your life. Do you want to suffer? Do you want to keep repeating the patterns of the past? Or do you want to take control of your life? I encourage you to take control of your life. There's no need to suffer. There's no need to keep going. And if you really wanted this life to end, you would have already ended it. So something's keeping you here. Some belief, some hope, something is encouraging you to keep going. So why not make it a journey worth traveling? Why not pull yourself together? Just do what's necessary and watch it all change. Love yourself. Treat yourself as a friend. Treat yourself as you matter. And if you're not quite sure exactly how to do that, visualize yourself outside of yourself. Think of a person in front of you. Visualize them, but that's you. Treat them in a manner that is consistent with how you see them. Will you treat them poorly? I doubt it. You'll see that when we're looking at another person, we often find the good parts about them. Treat them in such. Treat them in a way that they matter. So I'm saying, love yourself. Treat yourself right. Others won't. Others will either get out of your way or they will fall in line with treating you right. So make the choice today, and I encourage you to do so. I did. I made the choice well over a year and a half ago, and it was the best choice I ever made. And was it easy? Hell no, it wasn't easy. But was it worth it? You bet it was. It was the best thing I ever did. So this could be your turning point now. This could be the best thing you ever did, or it just could be another video that you just pass on by and say, "Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty inspirational. That was nice." And then you go and watch like Keeping Up with the Kardashians or some such nonsense, and forget about the whole thing. So I hope you do something with it. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.